Hi friends, welcome to Ruhani-Tech Solutions. We at Ruhani-Tech Solutions provide various services like real-time project-based training in technologies like Java, .NET, C, C++, Python, and also provide IT projects to college students and provide solution to technical queries and real-time project ideas to students. So today we are going to discuss about the project Student Management System, which which is a Spring Boot application. So we are using Spring Boot and Java Persistent API, that is JPA, with and also Hibernate and database as MySQL database. Previously, I have shared the video on student management system, which was built on JSP and servlets, and also shared the video on the same project student management system, which was built on C .NET and ASP.NET. So today I'm going I'm going to share the same project but with a different technology stack, that is Spring Boot and JPA, which is hot in the market now. So agenda is project overview. We will be giving with the functional overview and technical overview. Project overview. Student management system is a role-based system, that is admin and student. That is, we have two roles, admin and student. This system is mainly responsible for managing data flow between admin and students. Basically, it acts as an interface between school management and students. Admin can see list of admins and students with the details and can create admins and students profile. And student can update their profile as well. Okay, now comes to the functional overview. We have two roles, that is admin and student. Admin can create new admin and also can create new student and also can retrieve list of admins and students. And students can all admin can also delete admin as well as students, right? So admin has lot of roles and responsibilities in this system, whereas student can insert or update records. Other functionalities are implemented in this project are image slider, pagination, login logout functionality, and session handling. Okay, so now let's see the functionality in detail, how it is implemented. So this is Eclipse. We have this is the ID for doing the for developing our environment and do the Java coding. So we have you can see here we have built this project student management system using Spring Boot. So we will come to the technical perspective of afterwards. So first we will be going to start this application in our local host and show you the functionalities first, right? So you can see we will be, as it is a Spring Boot application, we will be, and you know, in the Spring Boot application provides internal Tomcat server. So we will be starting our application on the Tomcat servers and the local host, right? And one more thing I want to show you, that we are using MySQL database, and as you are seeing right now in our database we have only one table, order details. No other table is there. So what happens, as we are using JPA and Hibernate in Spring Boot application, so that on running this application the tables will be automatically created, like two tables will be created in this app for this application. That is let me just just to give you the overview, we have defined two entities here, that is roles entity here with these fields ID, username, password, and role ID, and other entity we have defined is as student.java. So there are multiple fields. You can see here ID, first name, last name, department, roll number, which describes with all the description of the student: first year percentage, second year percentage, date of birth, gender, right? So what happened when we start this project by clicking on this button, start, right? So what will happen? Two tables automatically will be created in the MySQL database. Two tables, that is roles table and student table. These are the Java files, roles.java and student.java. These are the entity files. These will be mapped to the database, and automatically with the help of Hibernate and JPA, the two tables will be created in the database. Let's see. As of now, no, there is only one table, order details. After running the application, roles and student table will be created automatically in MySQL database. Let's see. Let me start the project. You can see in the console this Spring Boot application is running, and you can see here uh, Tomcat started on port 8080, right? And you can see in the console itself, like Hibernate have automatically created two tables, that is roles and student, right? Let me show you. When we refresh this database, so you can see this roles table is created and student table is created. Roles table with the columns as ID, password, role ID, username, which we have defined in the roles.java file. And in the student table we have columns like department, date of birth, final year percentage, which are defined in our student.java file, right? Okay, and the Tomcat service is already started on port 8080. So let me uh, browse that particular URL, localhost 8080. When we click on this, okay, so my application is hosted on the Tomcat server. Okay, so this is the landing page or welcome page of this application. So as of now, we don't have any credentials for admin or student. So we will be creating one manual entry for admin to log in first into the application. Okay, then afterwards we will be creating the credentials by the admin login from the front end itself. So only one entry in the initial of the startup of the project, we need to do one manual entry for the admin to create to log in into the system as an admin role. So let's see. We have two tables, roles and student. So in the roles, we will be creating one entry as admin. Okay, so roles, values. As you can see on the right hand side, we have the column names ID, password, role ID, username. So in the same order, we will be giving the values. ID say 1, password say Madan, role is admin. We have two roles, admin and student. So we are creating the credentials for admin. Username is say Jitendra. right? So we have insert into roles, values, and Madan, admin, and user name as Jitendra. So we will run this query, and we see in the roles table we have one column added, one row added, that is of ID 1 and username as Jitendra with role ID as admin, right? So now with the username as Jitendra, password as Madan, we will enter it into the system for the admin role, right? So let's see. So this is the admin. So we are successfully able to log in into the system. As you can see on the right hand side, welcome admin Jitendra. So this is the admin homepage, right? So you can see there are multiple different tabs like home, about us, registration. Like admin can create a new student, register new student, or register new admin. He, admin can see a list of students, list of admins, contact us tab is there, and logout button is there, right? So we can see as of now in the list of students, there is the list is empty as there are no student profile. So first of all, let me create the student profile. Like say if one student came to the college for his, and admin will be doing the registration for him and creating the credentials for that particular student. Registration student sign up. Let's create a student name Rohani and password as Magan and role ID as student for creating the student profile Rohani. Okay, I click on save. Registered successfully. You can see the message over here, and in the database we will be verifying it when we click on the roles. So one more entry is inserted into the database with the username as Rohani and role ID as student, right? And if we go to the student table, there is only one entry, that is first name with Rohani is inserted into the database. Other values is null or empty. So these empty values or null values, these will be filled by the Rohani when she will be logging into the system with her credentials, right? So let's log out from the admin. Okay, so now the admin is being logged out from this application, and now Rohani will be entering her credentials to enter into the system and update her profile. As you can see, Rohani, first name is Rohani, so we will be entering other values. So let me click on update. So you are seeing the message that date of birth is required. Please enter the value. So date of birth is a mandatory field here in this application, right? Okay, so the department also, it is say ACA roll number 60, gender female 36. So let me click on update. You can see the message record updated successfully. Let me verify the result in the database. When we go to the student table, we can see the all the data is filled inserted into the database. All the details we have entered from the front end: ECE, date of birth, first year percentage, first name, last name, gender, and all the stuff, right? So what Rohani will do, she has updated the details, and she will go and log out from the system. Again, admin will be logging into the systems to see the credit details of Rohani. So Jitendra, who is an admin, login into the system and click on list and list of students. So Ruhani is there in the list of students. So when the admin clicks on the Ruhani hyperlink, so he can view the details of Ruhani which she has entered, right? All the details is able to see, right? In the same way, we can create admin can create the other admins as well by admin sign up. You can take the example of we can take one example and Neha password and role ID as admin. Click on save. Registered successfully. So go to home. Admin will go to home and see on the list of admins. He is able to see two admins, Jitendra and Neha now. Right. Admin can also delete the entry from here as well by clicking on the delete hyperlink. That is okay. He's successfully able to delete this and click on this one. And then he can log out from the system. Now moving to the technical overview. So in this application, we are using Spring Boot with JPA for front-end and back-end coding, and we are using MySQL database for storing the data. And for we in the Spring Boot, we have the inbuilt Tomcat server for deploying the web application, and we are using the development ID as Eclipse for Spring Boot application, and we are using the latest version Java 8 as a programming language. So let's see the over technical from the technical perspective. Okay, and move to the Eclipse to see how we have implemented our application. So as you can see here, we have defined the list of all the controllers and our main application, that is Spring Management Student Management System application using Spring Boot.java. When we click on this, we are using this is the main function. The entry point of the application is here only from the main function, and we can see we have the annotations here. We have defined that is at the rate Spring Boot application and at the rate enable transaction management. And we can see one resource file as application.properties. In the application.properties, we have defined our database connectivity to the MySQL database. That is, we have defined our URL, username, password, and driver class name in the application.properties file. And you can see other properties as well, like spring.jpa show-sql is equal to true and ddl auto is equal to update. Due to these properties only, this property only, the tables are, are created automatically while startup of the application. That is, roles and student tables are automatically created due to this particular entry. Okay, and now we will be seeing pom.xml file. In the pom.xml file, we have defined different dependencies for Spring Boot application. Like for Spring Boot application, we have defined this dependency Spring Boot starter web, and for JPA, we have defined Spring Boot starter data JPA, and we have defined one MySQL connector as we are using MySQL database. And for the embedded Tomcat, we are defining the dependency as Spring Boot starter Tomcat. So these are the dependencies we need to define in our application. Okay, so now let's see how the login flow. We will be seeing how the login flow is implemented in this project. from the technical perspective. So as you can see, by hitting this URL localhost 8080, the landing page or login page is showing. So let's see how it is showing the landing page. First we have the login controller. So first of all, the control goes to the login. It will search for this request mapping first, and it will return the index page, that is index.jsp. When we go into the index.jsp page are defined under web apps folder. So when we click on the index.jsp, so as in the login controller, we can see we have defined the controller as a Spring framework. We are using the annotation at the rate controller, and for session handling, for creating sessions, we are creating this annotation at the rate session attributes, right? So in this controller only, at the bottom we have defined the mapping at the rate request mapping, and with the front slash. That let me show you. When we click on this URL like this with the front slash, it will landing pages there. So the first of all, the control goes here and it will return the index.jsp page, right? So when we go into the index.jsp page, we will see the username and password, the submit button, right? The same username, password, and submit button. And let's say we are entering the credentials of admin and click on login. See the URL. It is now roles/info, and the admin homepage is showing. So let's see how it is showing this admin page. What is the logic? When we are clicking on the submit button, the control goes to the do login, right? URL. So do login, if we see in the login controller, we have the do login request mapping. So the control goes over here, and in this we can see, first of all, once method will be called find user by name, which is defined in the service class, service.find user by name. So it will, this particular method will get up all the values from the roles table, which is stored in the database. Like we can see when we click this find user by name, so it will go into role service, and the role service, when we click on repo dot, in the repository this particular method is defined. So if you are seeing, this is a roles repository which are extending JPA repository. So and in here it is calling find user by name, it is passing username and password, and this particular query is executed. Select star from roles where username is equal to username and password is equal to password entered from the front end by the user. So it will retrieve all all the values from the roles table, right, and store it here in the role attribute. So then now it will match from role if it will give some value and not equal to null. So this block will execute, and in this block it is matching the credentials entered by the user with the credentials present in the database. If these credentials will match and the role ID is admin, so it will redirect into roles/info. That is um, this particular roles uh, roles info request mapping is defined here in admin controller rules info. You can see this request mapping rules. Inside that request mapping info is there, so it will execute this particular method. In this method, you can see it is returning roles.jsp page. So it will return this roles.jsp page. This is the same page as it is showing this page. That is admin home is the same as roles.jsp. As you can see, match on the tabs: home, about us, registration, home, about us, registration with student sign up, admin sign up, and you can see the list of students, list of admins, list of students, list of admins. So this is the same page, roles.jsp, the same page as this admin homepage, right? So, and when the role ID is student, so this block will run and it will return student welcome page.jsp page. That is this one, home, with having the tabs home, about us, insert, update. Student can update, insert, or update the details. So this is, it will return this page when the role ID is student, and when the credentials of the user entered by the user is not matching with the credentials stored in the database. If the credentials will not match, so login will fail and it will say try again. So let's see, like, say if we enter some junk values here and click on login, login failed, try again, right? So this is how the login module works, and we have seen the technical implementation of this in the in the login module. So that's it from the technical perspective. So friends, thank you, and for any technical queries and project ideas, please contact in the given email, that is rohani.tech@gmail.com. You can drop me an email or call me or WhatsApp me on the given mobile number for any queries, project related queries. Okay, so stay tuned for more videos, and don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.